Okay.
Welcome everyone to AoS R&D with Rob
Hello.
and Dale. Wait, where are you, Dale? You're not in your normal background.
It's I've dropped. Okay, so hello. Hi everyone. It's Tuesday. We're still here. I hope
Yeah.
you're doing well. I just dropped this because my dog's decided to barge into the room
Oh, okay.
and now she's kind of like lying here and staring at me
Oh,
going, "Why are you talking to someone? Why aren't I involved? What's going on here?" So she's kind of settled down now.
yeah.
So we'll see how long it lasts for. My partner is in because she's having a hard day, so she's next door watching Grey's Anatomy.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's not nice. It's
I
it's
don't mean I don't
18,
mean nice. She's
18
having a hard
seasons
day.
of Grey's
Oh,
Anatomy
really?
on
Wow.
Netflix.
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not saying nice. She's having a hard
Yes,
day.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get you. So
Um,
yes, so my dog is currently sitting behind me, judging me because I am.
Yo. Hey Keith. Hey Brayden. Hey Sean. Thanks for
It's
joining us.
lots of people. Hello.
I'm sorry I was a little late. Had some extenuating circumstances with real life
Had to
responsibilities.
fix his hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is.
Pick the right house coat to
Oh
wear.
my gosh. Yeah, my hat hair. Yeah, I had to fix my hat hair
Hmm.
into making it more like a helmet. Yeah, no, I need a haircut real bad.
So on an exciting thing,
Yes, there's a few things to
I
talk about here.
I found this is a hey Dan,
Hey, Dan.
personal exciting thing and slightly, dubious in some formats. I'm still job hunting and I'm waiting for replies and two finals interviews. So hopefully this week or next week I'll have a job again.
Yeah,
But I found STL files for Trogoths.
nice.
So I am
You
currently
didn't send them to
printing.
me, so I can't see what they look like.
Oh no, yeah. So basically, I'm currently they're scans of the rock guts. So I am
Oh,
currently printing free to see what they look like, and then if they're all right, I'm going to print another free, and then I've got the six Strogoths I needed to run my gits until I can actually buy some.
oh, crazy.
Yeah, which
Nice.
is fun.
I'm really muffled. Oh shoot.
You probably forgot to do the thing that you did last time.
What did I do last time?
Well, remember when the computer turned itself off and on again last time? Um,
Oh, you know what? It probably got changed. There was an update for
there's a wild
Streamlabs.
Mr. Selwood. Get a Pokeball and catch him. Throw it. Throw
Nice.
it a
Yo,
Pokeball.
Andy, what's going on, man?
Get him.
Uh, Thanks to everyone for joining me, or us rather. Let me. I'm gonna. Is this better? Everyone, let me know.
I'm just gonna go then. Bye.
Yeah, it's just Streamlabs. It gets updated, and then it's just like okay, like everything's like a lot of stuff looks different, and then anyway, I was trying to get stuff ready. Um, so yeah, let me know if this
We
is better,
also
guys.
we had the opening of Darren's. So Darren got a house last year, and he's been refurbishing his basement
Yeah.
into a gaming room. So he's got four gaming tables down there and a secret room, which has got like a Dungeons and Dragons room, which is just the coolest thing ever. But some of us were in there on Sunday, and that was good fun. Managed to get some games going. Um, Maybe you just need to crank your volume up.
You know what it might be? It might have just literally changed it to
The different
from
microphone.
my actual mic, yeah, to my stupid webcam mic, which sounds terrible. Okay.
When you get a chance, go check out that pic I sent you on Instagram for the terrain I am working on. Okay,
Okay. Uh,
Dan sent you a
oh,
pic
cool.
of
Sweet.
terrain.
I will do that. Um,
So yeah, so it's nice getting some of those people that haven't played Age of Sigmar in a while in the area to start coming and playing games again.
yes, for
Uh,
context, by the way, I did change it theoretically, so hopefully it's better. Yeah, anyway, but for context, Darren, me, and Andy from the channel. So you guys probably know me and Andy, but Darren hasn't been on the channel yet. He's been very elusive. He's like a Sasquatch. He's like wily, and you have to like snap a picture of him if you ever see him because it's really rare. But he and his wife Veronica, yeah, they bought a new house, and actually, sorry, so Darren, Andy, and I started our local club, which is called Warp Dice, and that's Darren or Dale is a part of it, and Matthias and everyone who's been on the channel ever except for like a couple of the 40k guys, I guess. They're all in Warp Dice. So all the Age of Sigmar battle reports, I think, are all with people from Warp Dice. But so yeah, they refurbished their basement, and it looks amazing. And he's got like 4 tables in there, I
Yeah.
think.
And
Yeah.
he's easily got room for more if he wants some, but these were kind of like he got them custom built and put
Yeah, he
some
has 4 custom built
legs on
tables
them.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I won't
Oh,
I won't share pictures, but oh, Dan, you thank you. That's really kind, man. Um,
he's doing it to test you, so you sort out your YouTube stuff.
I don't know, so I'm looking into it. YouTube is the worst. Like I'm tempted to make a video just calling them out to see if it fixes it because I keep emailing them and they don't send me anything back. It might have been fixed, but I don't know. I think, fingers crossed. Yes, I think it has, Dan. So thank you
Did
very much.
yeah, Dan
I
probably forgot it.
I will, and thanks to Chris as well. He actually subscribed on YouTube. Like I actually started that on YouTube
Oh,
just to
nice.
see if it works, and he was just like, I'll just he's even though he's a Patreon, he's still like, I'll just subscribe, and then it's just like don't like I don't I want to make sure that people are anyway. So I'm actually gonna start if it works, I'm gonna start uploading all the like the private videos to both Patreon and like the YouTube like membership section, so you can just watch it wherever you prefer. If you prefer to subscribe on Patreon or whatever. The good thing about Patreon, well, the bad thing is that it doesn't really help the channel grow, right? Like that's the main kind of thing the reason I wanted to start with YouTube. Anyway, the um, the good thing
Yeah,
about
so
Patreon is that we don't really need to worry about what we say as much. Like I still try to keep it kind of PG just because like I know some people like to paint and their kids are running around because I was one of those people, right? So I try to keep things, where people can enjoy it. Even if there's innuendo or something like that, as long as it's not like, you know what I mean, you're dropping the F bomb. So I'm still figuring it out fully. YouTube is the worst for this kind of thing, like the absolute worst. But really appreciate it, Dan. Thank you very much. Also, I did post this on the Discord for Patreon members, but the dice showed up. Actually, so I guess oh geez, I'll show you guys in a second. I put it in with the other pictures, which has to do with the topic today. So I'll show the dice in a little bit. They look insanely amazing. No, oh no, don't worry about it here. No, the chat, I don't care. The chat, I don't like. I don't care at all about that kind of stuff. As long as people aren't saying like crazy offensive things there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, I don't care about it's just we can't really drop f bombs and stuff like that when we're speaking because it really hurts us for the algorithm and stuff like that. Like YouTube just won't recommend your channel as much. And then also I do it because of if people like are listening and they're painting and their kids are running around, they don't have to be like, oh, I can't listen to you guys because you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah. So don't worry about it at all. Yeah, exactly, Keith. Yeah, like uh, I think it was. Uh, I won't say it just in case YouTube's like text to speech thing doesn't work so well, but like I think it was Frackin. It's like from Battlestar Galactica. It sounds like you're mining for oil, you know. Anyway,
maybe we just need to do like a Saga of Dice after hours episode.
yeah, I mean we can actually do that kind of thing, but
Label it
man,
PG.
YouTube like just really like YouTube finds a way. I mean, like, and if we do have like another sort of section where it's like the after dark kind of thing,
So when
like,
we do the drunk history,
yeah, exactly. Like,
drunk AOS
if we
tales.
mark it, like, whatever. I mean, that way it's just people know going in. You know what I mean? But anyway, sorry guys, this is quite the digression uh, into the how the sausage gets made. Which, yes. Anyway,
How's your sausage?
nice. Damn it, Dale! It's been like 2 minutes.
Okay,
Okay,
so we have a picture on the screen,
we have
which
a
is the
picture.
rumor engine, which
Yes,
again looks like another
it's
like
another 40K thing.
I did consider it being maybe something to do with KO, but
No,
then like look at that bolt and it just looks too
it's
kind of
too
clean.
futuristic. It
But then
could
again,
actually
like
that lock does look kind of crappy.
yeah, it's like how many people in 40K use a key like that?
Yeah, like a
So yeah,
rounded.
or it
It
could be
could be
something with
KO.
stun.
It could
Yeah,
be. I'm gonna guess like some kind of tank because it looks like the hatch. You know what I mean?
I was about to say a Beastman chastity belt, and then Keith just beat me and put clearly an Orc chastity belt. So I'm glad we're on the same wavelength for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You guys are both gross. No, no,
Yeah,
actually,
Beastman chastity belt.
no. I mean, yeah, the orc one is
I don't know.
fine. What
It
is an
could be
orc
something to do
chastity?
with KO.
Don't they? Aren't they fungus?
True, but they
Uh,
don't know. Like they would just do
that's
it to be
true. They
cool.
have like
Like you
cheerleaders
don't
and
know
all
what I've
sorts
got.
of weird pop culture references.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely KO. Andy says, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we're hopefully looking at a KO next year.
oh
Um,
yeah, there's got to be.
and
I think they're all gonna drop next year.
but then it's also like, are we gonna get a new hero with a padlock on his costume or something? It's kind of like a weird picture. So maybe it's a vehicle, or maybe
If
it's
I
like
had to guess, that's what I would
maybe gonna
say.
introduce Book of Grudges to AoS for KO, and they're gonna have their own version of Book of Grudges, and it's gonna be some locked panel thing.
I know Alex won't agree, but a lot of people, including Eric, really want a General Dwarf book. So actually,
Yeah,
but here,
yeah,
you know what? We're actually getting ahead of ourselves, Dale. So this is the
yeah,
rumor engine.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, first things. So, I so like, I had I had to take my mom to some dentist appointments today, and like stuff went haywire. So I didn't. So Dale and I we were. I was supposed to make a list of top 5 predictions. I'm gonna have to do it live, right?
It's okay. I never actually made a list. I was
Okay,
just
so
like,
thank God,
I'm gonna
because
make
I was
something up
like,
on the spot,
I
what we're
just
gonna
didn't,
do,
I just
and this
didn't
is what
have
we're gonna
time.
do.
Like, just absolutely, like
Yeah.
Dale showed up today, and I was like, 1 second, I have to go do some things, and I ran out of the room.
Yeah.
So
So next Tuesday we'll be talking, or we might have uh
a bunch of
Alex on,
reveals.
and we'll be talking
Yes,
about the
yes.
Ogre and Wartribe book.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
next week
so
that is the
this
plan. Is
is it this
Alex is
Thursday or this Friday?
it's
The
this. I have it on the
I think
screen.
it's on Thursday or Friday. So this Thursday or Friday is
Oh,
the
I brought up the
weekend.
wrong thing.
Yes, you've brought that's
uh,
Warhammer Fest. That's next May.
See,
So
we need to change this podcast to the Trash Panda podcast because that's much more
so
indicative of what you can expect from us.
this weekend coming up is the finals of the
Yes.
AoS 40K yada 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 open series that they did in the
Yes.
US this year.
I
So
actually have it on the screen now.
this Friday at 9 p.m. Wherever
PST.
that is, Middle S
Oh, is
time.
it Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday because
Oh.
the event's actually on the weekend, but they do the preview on the Friday night.
Oh, I thought it was Saturday for some reason.
No, because well,
Okay.
Saturdays because obviously the UK time zone difference.
Oh, that's what it is. And I'm looking at it right now. Okay.
So is it not 7 p.m. for us
9.
or 6 p.m.?
Oh no, 9 p.m. Mountain Time is should be
Yeah,
8 p.m. Or no, wait, 1 hour earlier. So I think 8 p.m. our time.
yeah,
Yeah. So actually, we might be able to watch this.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. If you fancy doing a
We could
live thing again,
let's
we can do
try
that.
it. We'll try and do a live
Yeah.
show. I
The
think that
UK
works.
guys up be 4 a.m. I feel sorry for them if they're
That's
getting up for that.
crazy. That's crazy. I mean,
It's
although it's
because it's
normally 6 a.m. for us, so whatever,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
it's because it's the same as like when they did LVO and Seattle. It's like that's the time zone that you're doing it in, so you kind of have to,
Yeah.
you can't change it.
Because it takes they do it whatever, like wherever they're hosting it, they do the
Yeah.
local time. So I think it's in New Mexico, so they're doing it Mountain Time, I guess.
And
Yeah.
shout out before we continue to Matthias because he's
Yep.
going along to the finals of the
Matthias from the
championship. So
channel. So he was in our
yeah,
Skaven review show, and he's been in several battle reports, mostly using Skaven. He won the Seattle Open using Maggotkin of Nurgle, and this is before like anyone kind of realized, like this is when people were starting to kind of get that they were a lot better than everyone thought. But yeah, he's our representative from our club and from the channel. He's in the grand finals in New Mexico in the best general tournament. So all the people who won best general at the various open events got a free trip down there, and yeah, so he's
there's
playing.
actually two. So there's two pools. So
Yes,
the pool one is best general, and pool two is best overall.
best overall. And
So I think
so
there's eight in each of them.
yes,
I think.
yeah, I think you're right. And
Yeah.
then and also not from our channel or from our club, but Matt Beasley is in the
Yeah.
best overall section, and so
He's
yeah,
he's one of our Seattle
so
friends.
we're cheering on them. It's like their club and our club are like sister clubs essentially, you know.
Yeah, so
Um,
me and Dimension Matt Beasley's part of Dimensional Cascade,
yes,
and so for a while, me and Matthias, when we were going down to the US events, we're now part of Dimensional Cascade, mainly because our Warp Dice weren't really going down to the US ones, and we were hanging out with them quite a lot. Because I've known most of the Dimensional Cascade people since Fantasy.
yeah.
So yeah, we've been kind of teaming up with them when we're in the US. So it's nice to see. And it's kind of funny as well because like three of the top four from the Pacific Northwest Masters were also Dimensional Cascade because Stark won it, Matthias came third, and I came fourth.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so it's
In
kind
the
of a cool
master
thing.
tournament thing or whatever it
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah. So Matt and Matthias are going, so hopefully they'll do us proud. They're also in different leagues as well, so that we don't have to worry about them facing each
Yeah,
other
it's
and
so
knocking each other
awesome.
out.
So
So yeah,
Matt and Matt and Matthias. Sometimes Matthias goes by Matt, which is so confusing.
yeah.
Matt Beasley and Matthias have been practice partners because they're in two different tournaments, so they're just like helping each other prepare. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our local tournament or our local club wasn't able to go to a lot of tournaments, and so Dale and Matthias are dirty traders, and they joined Dimensional Cascade for some of the U.S.
So
events.
hopefully next year or next season that will change and people will start coming down.
Yes. And hopefully, like they'll start coming up to like because that Prince George tournament that Alex and Eric went to looked so awesome.
Yeah.
Like that looked like
We
one of the
also
coolest
need
ones.
we need more in BC. Like if we can
We
just
do need.
find
I mean,
the biggest problem we have in Vancouver is venues. Like if we could find a decent place to hold regular, like every kind of 3 months events, we would. It's just
uh,
finding a venue.
maybe Dan Miner's place, but we're getting
Yes.
ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
There
or
you
we're
go.
just going off into
Come
nonsense
on.
territory more likely. So we have so we're gonna cover. Well, hopefully we're gonna cover this on Friday. Like, I thought it was on Saturday, so we didn't plan this. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna do a live show on Friday, and then so this show is
Sorry, my
basically
dog's
going to
going
be us talking about our predictions for this preview show and our predictions for next year.
Yeah, because we've only got a month and a half left until 2023.
Yeah,
It's November 15th today. So
it is.
also like the timeline for their calendar's done. Like Slaves of Darkness was the last thing on like the preview tracker. So I'm kind of hoping soon.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll get it at this event,
We're going to get
but
a
hope
map. We're going to get a review, like a roadmap.
you think we'll get that this time.
Yeah, that's my first prediction.
Okay, okay. So your first prediction. Okay,
We're going to get a roadmap. Okay. And who's it going to be? I'm going to say Gits, our first up.
mm.
Because that they came out in January, I want to say, in
Yeah. My
2019.
my first prediction for this Friday is that there will be some sort of tease to Gloomspite Gits, and it's got something to do with Gits. It's going to be like they're going to. Do you know how they did the little animation things like they did for
Yes, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're going to do one of those, and it's going to be like the goblins robbing Santa's workshop or something. It's going to be something to do with
That sounds
like
awesome.
goblins stealing Christmas or something.
Yeah.
So I reckon that I think that'll be like the nod towards Gits coming up.
Yo, Danny, thanks for joining us. Justice for Gits. I
Yes,
try. I
just
used that hashtag on Twitter, and it like wouldn't even come up. Like it wouldn't even. I had to like type it in manually, and it's like, did you mean this? And I was like, no, I meant Justice for Gits. uh, you think they'll be the last, Dan? That's a bold prediction. I'm gonna say first. I'm gonna say January, January or February
I
gets.
kind of have a weird feeling they might do Gloomspite Gits and KO
Yeah.
because Gloomspite Gits and KO were a big feature in one of the Go Trek books.
Yep. in
So there's kind of like a thing there they could play off of.
yeah, there was a lot of really great story in there,
Yeah,
in that Go Trick novel, which I highly
yeah,
recommend.
yeah.
Um,
Lumineth Realm. Look, I mean, you joke about that, Alex, but we still have Tyrion to come at some point, so that is a thing. Yeah, Gitslet.
I think I think Tyrion, yeah, he might come. He might come this year.
But that's getting ahead of ourselves. So this Saturday,
Okay,
I predict. So my
Git
predictions,
Slayer.
I'm going to give
Yeah,
you a couple
great
off the
book.
top of my head.
Yeah,
So first of all is going to be Sons of Votan for Necromunda in some form.
Sons of
The
what?
vote the new dwarf
Oh,
guys.
League of Voltron. I call them.
League of
Yeah,
Votans, yeah.
yeah,
League of Voltron. Yeah, I think there'll be some sort of thing. There'll either be a kill team group
yeah.
or Necromunda group.
Nice.
Um, Number two will be a nod towards Gloomsweat Gits
Uh,
getting a new book.
yeah. Okay.
Number three, I think they're gonna do some sort of thing towards a update to the General's Handbook. Now, I'm not necessarily know they're gonna do an entire new General's Handbook, but I think there'll be a thing towards General's Handbook like season two or whatever they're doing now with it.
Yeah, I think they're going to do. So last year it was Thondia.
Yeah.
So it might be that, but I hope not
No, I
because
don't know if they'll do something like that again. I just think they'll
I
be
don't think
like
it did very well.
because you got to think the next two big events coming next year is you've got LVO. There's going to be a preview thing there, and that's end of January, and
Yeah.
then it's going to be the Warhammer Fest, which isn't until May.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
Well,
either
there's other
LV.
stuff I think be in
I know,
between,
but
but
in
they're more
terms of like big
minor.
events, yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I think if they're going to reveal it, like doing it here or LVO is when you're going to see it.
yes, I think this is going to be a big one for AoS
Yeah,
specifically. And yeah, last year I think didn't that Thondia box come like right before Christmas?
maybe.
So I hope that they learned their lesson because so you didn't play any of the games with the Thondia, right?
Dude.
So they were interesting and I liked how they did their own thing in a lot of ways, but they had new battle tactics and it was always like, yeah, take your cron spine and do this. And it was just like, but we don't have a cron spine, bro. Like, what do you what?
Yeah.
So I think that's where they kind of messed up. And I think I really like that they were doing a narrative GHB, but I really want like I just don't think it did that well for them.
Mhm.
So here's hoping it's separate. Yeah, I think so. I think Gits are first up. I'm gonna say KO. I think is a great. Uh, we make a great box for them, and then I'm gonna say OBR are next. I saw Braden ask OBR and FEC or FEC, Flesh Eater Courts. But
They will definitely get something next year, but we'll come to that next.
yeah, so I think OBR are going to be first, just because they don't
Hmm.
really function, and also they sold well. Like I think they just sell well, and yeah. So who are they going to go up against? Who? Because it's going to be Order, right?
Hmm.
Um, Fire Slayers,
Well,
KO, Lumineth. Oh, Seraphon. That's actually a
yeah,
good one. Seraphon versus KO, because they had a whole story in the Broken Realms, right? Although,
I don't think you'll do order versus order.
exactly. So OBR versus Seraphon.
Well, then again, didn't they do Lumineth versus Daughters?
They Lumineth. No, did they?
No, was that not Lumineth? Deepkin.
They did Deepkin versus Fire Slayers, which was
Oh,
Order
okay.
versus
So it was
Order,
around the same times. Okay, yeah.
and but Lumineth were versus
Oh, it was Daughters versus Nighthorn.
Nighthaunt. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Chaos Corn. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh man,
Okay.
OBR versus Titsnitch would be good. Like, although Seraphon versus Zeech makes a lot of sense too.
So I'm just looking
Ooh.
at this time last year for Age of Sigmar releases.
Yeah,
So the big releases in July
that's true,
was
Braden.
the the Stormcast and Cruelboys. Then
Stormcast, cool boy. Yeah.
in November, you had the Warcry Red Harvest set,
Okay.
which was
And
like a big box with terrain.
we've got the new Warcry set, so that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Then it was then it was the Stormcast Dragons and the Storm Guard.
Yeah. And yeah.
Then it was the Battle Forces, which we've just seen.
Yeah.
Then it was the Nurgle book on the 18th of December.
Ooh.
So if you think
But
about
we
the
knew about that
Stormcast,
ahead of time, and
yeah,
so we know that the slaves are going to get properly released probably in
yeah,
December, right? Yeah.
that's all it's giving me. So what was January 2022? So I'm just looking them up while we're chatting.
I agree, Keith. I don't care about Tyrion or them, but like I just think it's like there's going to be a riot if they release another thing for LRL in the next like 6 months. Like that's crazy, man.
Well, so in March 2022, we had Deepkin and Fire Slayers. So that can say in February or March we would get two
Well,
sets.
we've mostly
And that was two order.
yeah,
That was Fury to Deep. So that was order versus order.
that was, but we've mostly run out of it. So we've got left is Seraphon and KO, and that's
Hmm.
it. Everyone else is taken care of, right? But
So you could
we're
see
missing
Seraphon versus.
we're missing a lot of chaos stuff. We've got Beasts of Chaos, Korn, Zeech, Slanesh.
Zinch
Uh,
just got a new book.
oh, sorry, yeah. So three
Yeah.
there.
And Slaves of Titans just got a new book.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
didn't say
two.
I didn't say
Yeah.
slaves. It's still three though. It's Beasts
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Chaos, Korn, and Slanesh, right?
And Chaos Dwarves.
And Chaos Dwarves. Yeah,
They,
I
they
mean,
could they could bring back Chaos Dwarves.
I hope they do. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people would go nuts for that. And
Yeah.
then for Death, we've got all of Death left except for Night Haunt. So that's Flesh Eater Courts, Ossiarch Bone Reapers, Soulblight Gravelords. And then Destruction, we have Gits, and that's it.
Okay.
So,
So for this Friday, it's going to be a tease for Gits, but not necessarily any information about it. It's going to be a tease.
yeah.
It's going to be as a the Leagues of Votan kill team or whatever it's Necromunda. It's going to be a thing about the last Horus Heresy novel,
Yeah.
and there'll be a Horus Heresy unit of some type.
Maybe.
I have a feeling a Titan. I keep hearing from different places they're going to do a Horus Heresy Titan.
Okay.
So that could be a thing.
Okay.
And then there will probably be, because I mean, we've already seen stuff for, there's a new Underworlds thing just come out. I think there'll probably be something else for Underworlds teased. I don't know if we'll ever, like, if this will actually show us some new AoS stuff.
Well, so this Saturday though
Yeah.
isn't it just AoS?
No, it's 40K. It's
Oh, is
it's
it?
mainly
you're
a
right,
big
you're
narrative
right.
weekend.
Warhammer 40,000
And then there's the
AoS
yeah, because it's a grand
Necromunda.
narrative for
Got
40K,
it. Okay.
and then it's the AoS and 40K
Okay.
finals.
I mean, so okay, actually, first because I was reading that off, so I lost track of the chat. Yes, Dan, Grom would be amazing. I hope they bring back Grom. That would be stellar. But I'd rather have a spider thing. Okay. Keith, Dawnbringer Crusade, I'm not predicting until at least 2024 because if they're doing what they did with Dawnbringer that they did with Sisters of Battle in 40K Adeptus Sororitas, and it took them a long time. Like we actually got to watch them design things, so I'm thinking at least 2024. Yeah,
I
maybe
think
not
it'll be
even
the
early.
box set the summer of 2024,
It might be. Yeah, it might
Yeah.
be.
like the
2020
July big
2024
box set or
is
something.
theoretically a new version of AoS.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Like I have a somewhat bold prediction. Dan says there's a story about Scuttlestrand gets in on Lizard Boy territory. Dan, you need to link that to me ASAP. Okay, I need to read that.
To say Skull Type. I mean, that
I
could
need
be
it
again like
in my
Forest
eyeballs.
Goblins versus Lizardmen in the box
Oh
set
man,
would make
that
sense.
would be a problem though, Dan, because I play and love both of those factions. I played Lizardmen since they released with 5th edition. Like, if
Yeah, but
to be honest,
they're
so
not
I love
good.
Skaven more than anything in the world, right? Like, I love it more than I shouldn't say anything. I don't say anything crazy. I really love Skaven though. They're what literally brought me back into wargaming, right? If Skaven existed in Total War, I wouldn't be here. So in Total War One, they didn't exist at the time. Now they do, obviously. So having said that, I I was such a dinosaur freak as a kid, and lizards. Like I had a pet lizard. I had an iguana named Spike, right? Since I was 6. I'm such a lizard freak that there's no doubt in my mind if I'd been the right age, like if Lizardmen had come out a little bit earlier, I would have just be playing Lizardmen. Like that would be my main faction. I would still play Skaven for sure. There's no way that weirdness would not be part of my life. But like I think my main faction and the nostalgia for me would be in Lizardmen. So a dual box set is such a huge problem for me. like, but I don't care. We need new Saurus sculpts so badly. Okay, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Like, just give it to me.
I
Um,
have a feeling that they're gonna at this event on Friday, the stuff for AOS will be. I think they're gonna do something like Broken Realms again.
I don't you think they're gonna save that for the end of AOS 3?
Well, I mean, this could be building up for the end of AOS 3.
But we've got another year and a half.
Yeah, but if they're releasing 5 books,
I don't
it's gonna take a
know.
year if
I
they do
feel
one every
like
kind of
I
3 months.
I think they have to release the books first, like all the books. You
Yeah, but
could
if
be
they
right.
start doing like a
I mean,
Broken Realms-esque thing,
I
they
think
could
what
do one in January after LVO.
you know what
They
though
could do one in.
I would rather see a campaign book
Yeah, could do.
what do you call it? What was the was it called Everchosen? And there was what was it, Realm of Fire or Firestorm back in the day in AOS 1 and like
With
Malign
the
Portents, like
reason
that kind of thing. That's what I want to see.
the reason I think we do something like that is because there's nothing going on in the storyline right now.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, no, that's true.
everything is stagnant. Because if you think about even all the army books that have come out,
They haven't added
all
new
the army
lore at
books that have
all.
come out are
Yeah.
pretty much like no updates to lore.
Recycled,
It's like
yeah, or
yeah,
art.
it's like new rules for your army or
yeah,
updated rules for your army, and then it's like oh, and this is the rest of it. And some of them haven't even had a new front cover; they've just had the old front cover,
it's true.
apart from some of the newer ones. So at the minute, like if you think about the timeline, like Teclis is injured from Nagash. Nagash is dead essentially.
He's
Um,
banished to the Shadow Realm.
Bellacor's
Oh no,
run
no, he's
away
not
from
dead.
the White Dwarf.
Archon is dead. Archon the Black is
Yeah,
dead.
but he's still banished, so he's not around.
I don't think he's banished, is he?
Well, yeah, because like Teclis messed him up.
I know he messed him up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll
so
have
he's
to.
not
I
around
don't
currently.
remember. I don't remember all the lore.
Yeah. Um,
Marathi's book was
Obviously
so
you've
much
got
more
Kragnos
memorable.
running around, but he
Yeah,
got kicked by
correct.
Kroak and Marathi back to wherever it is he is now, where the Cruel Boys are.
Yeah,
So
Arcana's
there's kind
floating
of
out in
now this
space,
kind of like
says Keith. He's like Wheatley from Portal 2. He's just like rolling around in the space.
hey guys, Nagash, can I come back and play?
yeah.
But it's like the lore, like everything, like realistically, there's nothing in the last, I'd say nearly 6 months. There's been no continuation of the storyline kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
So I think we're due something. Yeah, Elfarian Few Archon off the edge of the realm of Rish. He's out there floating in the voice. I'm like, yeah,
That's
because
cool.
Elfaria is Chuck
I
Norris.
remember it was a cool part of the story, but
Yeah,
the Kragnos story and especially the Marathi one, like I'm not even a fan of Marathi or Daughters of Cain in particular, but her
yeah.
story was clearly the best. Like it was super memorable.
I'm
Um,
still hoping
oh, it's
there's
in
going
the
to
Thondia
be.
book. Dang it, I don't have that. Maybe.
You were saying about like a combined dwarf book. I mean, they nodded at that in Broken Realms with the White Dwarf's return,
Yes, they
then
did.
him going to upgrade the Stormcast for Sigma, but then there's a whole thing of like, oh yeah, he could unite the Fyreslayers, Caradron Overlords, and Duardin.
Okay.
So
Um,
that could still happen.
yes, I mean I know there's a lot of people who because so I was on one of the Facebook pages. I think it was the Seraphon one. Right, that's what it was. And they because when they you know how they showed all those Christmas boxes, right?
Mhm.
and someone put like the picture of all the boxes, and they were like, none for Seraphon. This is bullcrap kind of thing. And it's like, and everyone was kind of going like, don't you hope that they do a like a line refresh more than give us like
Yeah.
a these tired old sculpts like a little bit cheaper and and
Here, have some more Doomfire Warlocks
have
because
some more
everyone
like
needs it.
derpy looking Saurus Knights. Like, no, thank you. Like you literally can't give those things away. Like, I'm serious, right? So so then they were saying, yes, Skaven have the oldest line and they need the sculpts the most. And then another person was like, or sorry, they were saying Skaven needs it the most, which I agree, and Seraphon needs it the second most because like it's almost all Finecast, right? So then someone else was chiming in on this conversation. They were saying, no, bro, like Fire Slayers have like 3 or 4 sculpts, right? And it's just like, but Fire Slayers are not an army. They're like part of the dwarf army that they just sectioned off and just made it an army, but they're not their own army. And that's, you know what I mean? So if they make a combined dwarf book, you could really have this mixed arms thing with a lot of flavor. Like do it like Auric War Clans, right? Where you can run the mono faction, right? Because like Ironjawz too, like they have like what? How many sculpts? Like it's kind of an embarrassing amount of sculpts if you think about it, right?
I mean,
Um,
it's like Doors kind of had that as well, where I'm not advocating for them to get more stuff, but a lot of their sculpts are from fantasy.
they are, and
Right?
but they did get like a partial,
Yeah, when the new
and
book when they first became an army, they got Morathi, the Canary, and the Snakes.
well, and the
But then
exactly, yeah, they got Canary, Snakes, Marathi, and endless spells, or was that later?
that was later.
That was
That was
later,
the only new stuff we've had since the initial release, which was like 3 or 4 years ago,
right?
was the Endless Spells and the Foot Hero.
The foot hero, yeah.
So I mean, but
Uh,
again,
oh,
if
2 foot heroes, 2 foot heroes.
I don't think because it's also like I don't think we're gonna see Tyrion or Malarian this year for 2023.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, I agree
I
with
don't
you.
think we'll see them. I think they're more 2024 as well.
Which one? Daughters?
No, Malarian, because I
Oh
think
yeah,
when
yeah.
Malarian
That's what
comes in with the
everyone
Shadow
wants
Elves,
too.
I think there'll be a big thing that can ally with daughters, and it'll give like, or maybe even they'll combine them a bit or something. And I think there'll be a thing then. But
Yeah.
like, I don't think they'll get anything. And then like daughters are not in a bad position right now anyway.
No, they're
Um,
and
and
they've
Lumineth
got a
again, like
decent yeah.
they've just had
Oh
enough
my
new book.
god.
I
Oh my
don't see them
god.
touching Lumineth for at least a year because I think people would just rage.
So I don't know if you'll remember this, Dale, because I know you got into stuff you got into it a little bit later, right?
Yeah,
But in
yeah,
AoS 1, it was like all Stormcast all the time. It was like every 3 to 4 months there was a new Stormcast release, right? So everyone was just going like, no more Stormcast, like just stop GW, right? And they're like,
yeah.
oh, got you. So you guys want nothing but high elves. That's what you want. You know what I mean? It's like no,
I kind of
just spread the love around for God's sake.
I
Like,
kind of wish they would split the Stormcast hosts into different books, just because you don't see half the stuff getting played because
yeah,
it's just too
it's
much
just
stuff.
too much. It's like Codex Space Marines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I can't remember the last time I saw the magic-y side of it, like the evocators and the
The
the foot guys. And,
the
like
Sacrosanct Chamber.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just don't see them being
Yeah.
played. It's
Even
yeah
it's not like I just think that they kind of need. I mean, like I'm not actually advocating for this, but like if they want to do more stuff for Stormcast, make a Space Wolves or a Blood Angels type thing where they've got enough of their own flavor. They can use some of the regular
yeah
models and bring in some other more flavorful things. That would be cool. You know, like make a what's Hamilcar in? Make whatever his is. That book is so
yeah.
good. That book is
He
so
also got
good.
a cartoon as well, and
Right. I
the
haven't seen that yet. I need to watch
it's
that.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I've been I haven't had any free time, but I've been listening to Hamilcar a little bit on Alex's recommendation. Anyway, okay, back to predictions. Okay, you got to keep us on track here. Okay,
There's because come to think of this as well. So what I was looking at while we were chatting is there's 2 new war bands coming for Underworlds in December and February.
oh,
So the one for December is the one that's got the Gloom Spike logo.
the one that's got the gloom
Yeah.
right, yeah, 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 right.
So
So maybe that spider image that we saw is just that.
It could be,
Okay,
but
okay,
yeah, there's definitely something for Gloomspite going to be showed this weekend because as I said there's this Underworlds. It's the Fearsome Fortress Rivals deck with
right.
Gloomspite Gates, and then the next one is the Beast Assault one, which looks like it's got like
Beastman.
a Beastman head. It's
Yeah,
kind of like a skulled head with like antlers and
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
thing, but
That
it
checks out.
doesn't look like
That sounds
the
that
the
sounds
Wood
really
Elf
cool to
ones.
be honest. Okay,
Yeah,
Jamesy, like that's my main thing. It's the only thing I actually had time to prepare. But just wait, okay? I've got a
I'm gonna
couple of
link that
things.
up. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. It's probably not. Yeah.
Um, so and then Keith was saying about the Dwarven civilizations. There was something I don't remember which book. It's a giant auric for beasts of chaos. Alex is making a joke, I think, because Kragnos looks like a giant um, beastman in orcs. So I think
Okay.
that's his reference there.
So
Uh, but what was the thing with Grungy in
in Broken
Broken
Realms.
Realms? Yeah, I don't remember
So he
that,
turns up
but
in
Keith was
Be'lakor,
in Bellicor.
and
Okay, because Keith was
Be'lakor's kind of like, oh, I peace out, I'm gone because he doesn't want to
he's
deal
like
with
afraid of him, kind of,
Grungy.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then that's when Grungy is like, he goes, okay, I'm gonna go and fix
right.
Sigmar's Stormcast, and he gave the Stormcast the new guys, the
The
Thundercat. I can't
Storm
remember what it is,
Strike
but like
armor,
the Thunderstrike armor.
Thunderstrike,
But
yeah.
then he also turned up to stop the Celestin Prime from killing Marathi because that
Right.
was going to happen. So he's kind of like become a player
I
again.
need to read
I'm just
those.
going to link up my Twitter just because the other one might not link, just so you can click on that if anyone wants to go and look at the other stuff coming. Because in
Cool.
October it was the Gnarlwood for Undoors, but then it's that Gloomspite and then the other warband.
So,
So that could be because the other warband's February. So
right.
it could mean if it's Beastmen, it could mean Beastmen are going to be in February.
What are you talking about, Grungy Alex? He's in one of the more recent audiobooks. I don't
Because
know.
maybe you'll have Beast of
Maybe he's
Chaos
in.
versus
Maybe
Gates.
he was in the Kragnos one. Alex is a fiend for AOS audiobooks, so.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
interesting.
Uh, okay. I'll just bring up the old world because, like, yeah, I don't wanna make people wait for. You might be disappointed.
I don't think the old world's going to come till 2024, 2025.
So I'm starting to believe, like Robin Williams in Hook. It's like one of those things where I'm starting to believe. Okay, so two pieces of things dropped. Oops. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's like, why isn't this working? Okay, so Chrome, shut you off. Podcast picks. Where did you go?
Is that wrong? You're
Apparently,
breaking your computer again?
I'm not breaking anything, Dale. It's breaking itself. I was working before the show. What on earth? Oh, and everything moved. Do we have black bars on the side? I think we do. Oh God, what did I do?
What do you do when Rob
Uh,
breaks the computer?
I had something ready just for this. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know why it's like that. Dang it.
I keep turning around to look at my dog because she's staring at me.
So, okay.
Like, why are you talking to
Okay,
me?
here we
Why are you
go.
talking to everyone
So,
else?
Games Workshop put this up. Warhammer Fest 2023, be
Yeah.
there or be square.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, okay.
I know a lot of people who are into the old world, right? And they're all saying it's just another map, right? But people are already really upset about how little they're showing. And let's be okay, just to put it into context, you guys, we didn't know about AOS 3. Like they didn't announce anything about AOS 3 until what, like a month before, right? So not getting rules and everything like that, that's actually expected. It doesn't mean nothing is happening, right? But but a lot of people are going, it's not actually going to happen. It's going to happen at some point, right? Like they've said it's going to happen, I think it's going to be like a Horus Heresy type of deal. And so anyway, they released this. Okay, Be There, Be Square. If they don't do something kind of like more than just a map, they're gonna look stupid. Like, I'm sorry, GW, but you're gonna look kind of dumb because like this is just not necessary, right? But they also released this accidentally and then took it down. And here, once again.
Oh,
So this is from
interesting.
Warhammer
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar. What in the world? Find out more tomorrow, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Right? Over on Warhammer Community. Everything comes round again, even squares. So, what on earth is going on? Right?
Age of Sigmar's going to square bases.
By the way, is my screen all crazy or like?
No, it's fine. Looks
Does
alright
it
to
look
me
okay on
on
YouTube?
YouTube.
I don't have like a
Yep.
big like black like bar on the side.
Yep.
Okay, they changed Streamlabs and it's awful and confusing now. Okay, so uh,
It will be
it's
weird
also
if they do
location.
some sort of announcement on Wednesday
Yeah.
for
So
the
on
thing when it's like, why not do it on Saturday, on Friday on the
yeah,
big
I don't
reveal?
get that either. So, but maybe they're just kind of going to clear up some of the rumors. Like I remember when they first announced it, everyone's like, "It's gonna be 14 millimeter, bro. It's gonna be epic scale, bro." And they were like, "No, like what do you mean? Like we said it's not. We said it's gonna be regular. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same scale." And then people are like, "It's not gonna be on squares." And they're like, "We said the whole deal is it's gonna be on squares, right?" Now I do hope they make it compatible with AOS miniatures, but I don't think they're going to. I
Yeah,
just think that would
they're not gonna AOS and it's not gonna go back to squares, Dan. You don't have to worry about that. I
AOS
don't
won't.
think it's gonna
AOS won't.
be.
Yeah.
I don't think the old world
Yeah.
is gonna be compatible with AOS.
I don't
I
think
it's
so
gonna be a
either, but I
separate thing.
do think that that is the smart thing to do. And here's why.
I
Like if they're smart about it, they do like either works, right? And like there are ways of doing it. Like they could just make like part of the problem with the old square 20 millimeter square bases is you couldn't fit the guys like next to each other. They were too close, right? So if they just switch it over to 20 millimeter or 25 millimeter rather, you know, like so that you can use either, right?
I think it will be a cross between Kings of War
I
and
yeah, I think it's gonna be like I
the
think it's gonna be
Game of
sixth
Thrones
edition
game.
with some updated rules, a little bit more streamlined. But putting that aside, right? If they're smart, they make it they make it compatible. And here's why: cross contamination, cross pollination. It's such a strong like mechanic that they use in like every other industry, and like the wargaming industry is so far behind the times. It's crazy. Like if I have a Skaven army, right? So if getting into the old world means I have to buy a whole other Skaven army to play in the old world, like that's not going to stop me
Mhm.
because I already have that. I've already bought a whole other square based Skaven army that I can play. But most people are not going to do that, right? So they're just losing sales. Like they're losing the rulebook sales, they're losing the army book sales, and you know whatever else, magic cards like they used to have in fantasy. Like there's so many accessories they could be selling these people. Yeah, they're not going to go back to squares for AOS though. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be a separate game, but I do hope that they make it cross compatible. Alex hopes it's a documentary. Man, that would be such a bait and switch.
The problem you've got is by making it cross compatible is you're gonna have these models which are like potentially Bretonian and Empire and High Elf and Wood Elves, where it's like, but they're not don't exist right now in AOS, so it's like,
Yeah, for sure. No, I just mean like for the armies like
nah.
Seraphon, Lizardmen. Um,
What would be more of a thing is if you can use your old Warhammer Fantasy battle models that are still on square bases in this.
I think
Like
you
I
will
still
be
have
able
a High
to.
Elf army, which
Yeah.
is the stuff I converted a load of it to Lumineth, like I just did my bolt throwers, and I'm just doing my line chariots right now
Yep.
into the Stormcast ones to run in my Lumineth. But like, we'll have to walk finds AOS.
So Sorry, Dan. You mean the picture that's up there right now? I can send that to you. Just send me a message reminding me, and because I don't have my phone
Or
here.
just use screen snap and just copy and
I
paste it.
mean, I'll just send it to him. I've got it on my phone, so
Snipping
I'm
tool.
happy to send it to him on Instagram. Uh, Old World being War Master scale would have been cool. Yeah, honestly, I would have been super into that. Like, I actually would have been super into an epic scale game, but they've said it's going to be the same. And I think they're noticing the success of the Horus Heresy game and how well that sells for them. And so I think you're honestly, like, I actually think you're going to be able to use your old miniatures just because you can in Horus Heresy. Like, all the miniatures they've ever made for Horus Heresy are still totally usable, even though they've made brand new ones. Like, they've made like the new contemptors and like, or even if you just look at AoS, like they made a new demon prince and they put them on a 60 millimeter base. Like, why did they even do that? They should have put them on an 80 millimeter base and at least made people rebase their stuff, or it would give them more inclination to buy like the new model. But they were just like,
Yeah.
no, no, we want to be able to use your old models. And like, do you remember the big stink that happened when they introduced Primaris? Like, when they introduced Primaris Space Marines, they were clearly going to cut out old Marines. Like, it's in the lore. If you listen to or read Dark Imperium, they like literally like the Space Marines in the regular Space Marines in the book going, yeah, we're getting the axe, man. Like, this is the new age of Primaris. Like, they were just preparing everyone, but such a huge explosion of hatred like came out of it, of people not being able to use their silly old looking Space Marines that were the same size as Guardsmen, that they doubled back in on it, and now they're pushing the regular old Marines that everyone's been using for decades now just as hard. I actually think you're going to be able to use your old models, but we'll see. I'm good either way. I don't really care. You know, I'm I'm fine. Like, if I as long as I get to play Skaven and Lizardmen, like, I'm happy. You
Mhm.
know. Fat fingered the memories part of Facebook. I don't know what that means. At least the old Marines can upgrade to Primaris better. Yeah. Better deal than the Thunder Warriors got. Yeah, exactly. You can always cross what they call the Rubicon Primaris. Um, Dan has lots of old world gets. It's just on rounds now. Yeah, honestly, like, I actually think it will be. I mean, because like you can use fourth edition goblins. Anyway, we're kind of going a little bit off track. That was so I predict that they are going to talk about the old world at some point in the near future. I don't know if this is like, it says Wednesday. I actually didn't realize that until
Yeah,
you
that's
brought it
the
up
weird.
now. It's such a weird thing. Like, why didn't they just leave it up then? Why did they take this down?
Yeah,
Um,
maybe someone forgot that they're doing a preview show on Friday,
oh,
and we're
maybe.
like, "Oh, this is gonna be a
Oh,
thing we're gonna do," and it's like, "Oh no, we're doing this whole thing on Friday.
yeah.
Save it
Why
for
don't we
Friday."
just save it? That would be smart.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
mm.
man, any kind of news like on that, I'm super down for. I I really do like the old world. I love Age of Sigmar. Obviously, it's my main game, but I do like the old world as well.
It's also such a weird thing. It's like, why would they introduce a game system that might take away from your players from another game system?
I don't think that like that it'll matter. It's like the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Like, I I think they're just like, I mean, I'm if they release the old world, right? I'm gonna play the old world and Age of Sigmar. Like, I'm just
Mm.
gonna play both. Like we're not customers of Games Workshop. We are addicts. Like, they treat us like it's like drug dealers, right? Um,
Just say no, Rob. Just say no.
just say no, nah.
Night,
It's
Dan. Have a
it's
good
too
night.
late for that. Uh, okay. Absolutely, it was great having you, Dan. I will show this before you go. So I got my dice arrived, right? And um,
Is it Dan who does the dice?
Dan sent us some of his local club dice. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we use them as wound counters in the Andy versus Rob Taunts, and they are that battle report is going up tomorrow or Thursday. Oh no, I think it's tomorrow. I think that battle report's going up tomorrow on Patreon. It's Hedonites Knights of Slanesh versus Sylvaneth. It's a really great game. It has Sigvald in all his glory. And he's such a cool
in his
model,
chats.
and a bunch of other stuff, some fiends. So it's really good. Uh, yeah, no, I got them, Dan. We used them in the battle report. You will see them. Sorry, I didn't get a chance
Every
to read
time
that.
I think of Sigvald, I always just give him the voice of like Siegfried and whatever his name was there. Those two Vegas magicians that had the tiger,
Oh,
and one of them
Siegfried
got
and
more.
Roy. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't remember their names.
I always give Sigvald that voice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jamesy says we are way past just say no. It's so true. Like, yeah, we are physically addicted to this now. It's
yeah.
not like cocaine or meth. Like we're at heroin level of addiction here. We can't even just stop cold turkey. It's dangerous. Uh, Thank you, Dan. Yeah, like I am thrilled. Like when I take a picture, you can't see the pearl in the dice, but they are the prettiest dice I have ever seen.
I see.
Honestly, they're
All right.
just gorgeous and they roll really well. I did like an inaugural roll with them on both, and then I like separated them. Like I took like all the sixes and I put them in, and I was just like, dang, that's a good roll for both of them. So fingers crossed. I think they roll pretty good. Uh, yeah, I'm selling them soon. I'm just trying to figure out like my final cost because like I got hit by duty and a few other things. So I think I'm going to they're going to sell them for 20 of them for 25 or $30 depending Canadian. So it's not so bad if you're from the UK or American. It's way cheaper than anyone else is selling dice. But I just need to make sure that I'm, you know what I mean, not kind of
Yeah, I
losing
think
more
we used
money.
to sell the Trump Hammer ones for like, I think it was like $10 a 10 or $20 a 20, and but that was like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago. So
It's probably
yeah,
more
I
than
think
that, isn't it?
yeah.
Because like when you were doing Chump Hammer,
Oh
that
yeah,
was during Fantasy
2015, so 7 years ago.
7 years ago, yeah. And back then, like those starter boxes were $100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like now they're
Oh God,
240. Like
inflation.
what? What? It's so crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm selling them for as cheap as I can, but if you look anywhere, like Games Workshop, like so for context, Games Workshop sells their dice, 20 of them for $50. So I'm gonna be about half, and my dice look way better. Like way better. Like they're marbled, pearl in them, absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so I'll stop talking about my dice, but I'm really excited for them. I've been waiting for like 2 months now, and I'm absolutely thrilled. I've always wanted to have dice for the channel and sell them, but yeah. Thanks for showing up, Dan. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Uh, Using Bartok the Magnificent and just replace Bartok with Sigvald and it works. I don't know Bartok. Do you know him, Dale? Bartok the
Mhm.
Magnificent? I won't Google this like so people can see it because
I'm
just in
gonna I'm
case
gonna
it's
Google it.
something the oh you mean the voice right? Oh, I don't know this. 1999. It's like an animated movie.
It looks like the bat from Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh wow, yeah. That that looks really cute. I don't remember it.
Who does his
Uh,
voice? Hank Azaria. Okay. Oh, okay.
oh,
I'll have to
Hank
look up after.
Azaria, like the guy from The Simpsons. I'll be on the lookout for them. Thank you. I could use some Skaven dice. Yeah, the I'm thrilled with them both. So yeah, the Skaven dice are supposed to be kind of warp stone themed. Kids movie. YouTube it later. Little Bat Dude. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I like some of that old stuff. You know. My favorite is The Secret of Nim, which is a movie about some laboratory mice that escape and they've created their own society. It's fantastic. 80s. It's sort of in the style of like The Last Unicorn. Absolutely gorgeous, hand drawn. Yeah. So okay. Um, so back to we'll do a couple final predictions. I guess it looks like we can actually do the live show, which is gonna. I had so much fun last time, Dale, doing that live show. Do you remember
Yeah.
for what was it for? Was it
I
Nova?
can't remember. It was
I think
like
it
a
was
month ago.
Nova,
I remember. I remember. I think it was Nova because I remember it was
right?
the League of Votank. Because I just remember that
Yeah,
the dwarf I want to use as a rune priest one day. That's all
right.
I remember.
You might be able to find that guy cheap. Like,
Oh no, I will someday, someday. But I don't need a room priest. That's the problem.
oh, fair
It's like,
enough.
oh, I'm just gonna get them. Like, I have a shelf of models I want to paint.
Yeah.
I've just not gotten around. Like, I'm trying to get them motivated because usually I paint when I'm preparing models for an event, and at the minute I have no events on the cards apart from
Ah,
potentially LVO.
yeah.
So it's kind of like I have no encouragement to paint. So it's like I keep wanting to do it, and I'm just not. And it's mostly Gits right now. I'm trying to go through my backlog of Gits and paint them.
I'm
So
working on my creepy spider.
the shelf of Shane, I have a box of Shane, but yeah, I literally like I think like a month ago I pulled out a load of models, including my Gobblepalooza. I glued them together. I base coated them. I grabbed. It's like
I've zenithal them. I'm holding
yeah. So it's
the
the
scareman,
rest of
scaremancer.
the you can kind of see it, but it's like 8 bound, sorry, 10 bounders.
The shelf of shame.
Gobblepalooza.
Shelf of potential,
Um,
Keith.
the hero with the mangler squig, so the squig, Molog and his group, and then
Nice.
something else. So I have these. I've been sitting at them for about a month now. I need
You
to
gotta
paint
hold them
them.
in front of you.
Yeah, fine.
They're warping in and out of reality.
Yeah.
Alex
Well,
is doing
I'll
some
take a picture and
ogres,
post them.
then some Marvel Crisis Protocol, and then some Stormcast Eternals. He says.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's just having like the problem I've got is they gave away Vermintide 2 for free recently. So I've been playing that, and
Yeah.
then I've been playing Cyberpunk again because they've done all the updates for that. And
Okay.
then you've got Overwatch 2 I play. So there's just so many games I've been distracted by
So you're
where
just
it's
saying
like,
you're not a good master of your own destiny.
yeah, I want to paint them, but it's also like I just because again, like this job hunting business is soul destroying.
It
And it's
is.
just like,
I
especially
remember.
right now, where it's like I had two final interviews last week and a second one, and it's like, oh, we'll get back to you in the next 2 weeks for all of them. It's like, okay, so I have like a week and a half still of waiting, where it's like, have I got a job or have I not? So it just means I have zero motivation to do anything because it's just literally just trying to get through the days.
You should.
So
You
yeah,
should. Yeah. Throw on an audiobook and just. You
yeah, I
know.
know. I keep meaning to like I
Relax.
keep meaning to watch like put Andor on something and paint or like just something where I can just put something in the background. But then it's just like I'm just gonna do this instead. So I think it's just the ease of it. It's like a lot easier when you got to paint. You got to set everything up. You got to pull the stuff through. You got to fill the water. You got to get all your stuff organized to do it, and then put something on to entertain you but not distract you too much.
Yeah. The I think the key is to definitely is to have it set up so you can just sit down. Like all you need is to pour water in a jug and you can pretty much sit down and start painting. But
Yeah.
it's not as always easy. The Blizzard servers have been wacky for you. So I put Overwatch 2 down and painted up a 500 point Necron army. Heck yeah. Attaboy, Jamesy.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, when they released Overwatch 2, the servers were. I didn't get on for the first week because they had this whole thing where it's like, oh, you've had this account for 5 years, but now you have to have a phone number. But my account was
Yeah.
connected to the UK because it was when I was from the UK.
Yeah.
So then it's like it just didn't work. But they dropped that and changed it. But it was just like it's been such a mess
I
of a
had that.
startup.
I don't play Overwatch like at all, but I love StarCraft,
Oh yeah.
and so I got back into it with the cartoon one that they released or whatever, and then I had to like figure out my account. Like I didn't even remember my password or anything, and like yeah, it was totally different, but really cool.
My
That's
my biggest gripe with Overwatch right now is apart from the monetization of everything, is the fact of their competitive play system is a complete mess. So I used to be, I was like decent. I was like a gold slash platinum player, but I'm stuck eternally in bronze right now, which is like the lowest tier. And it's like I will go in with these teams of complete muppets that just do the stupidest stuff. And you're just sitting here trying to work your butt off because it's like, I want to progress. I want to progress. I want to do well. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do this character for a laugh. It's like, why are you doing this in competitive? Go
yeah.
and play quick. Ah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I
Idiots.
that's why I don't
Idiots.
like I actually don't like team games like
Yeah.
what's it called? League of Legends or whatever. That's like I like StarCraft and I like fighting games. It's just like it's
Yeah.
all on me. You know what I mean? But
Well, that's why I was playing Vermintide because it's kind of like a lot less of.
Vermintide is so good. And I would play it on PC, but I've been playing it for like 4 years now on PlayStation, and I'm not about to start over. I did get it for free because why not, right? Like,
Yeah.
you never
I'm
know.
looking at some stuff I can try and clear off and sell so I can buy Dark Tide because that comes out soon and I can play
When does
that.
it come out?
Yeah.
When does Dark doesn't Dark Tide come out next year?
No, it's out on the beta is out if you pre-ordered it on the 17th,
Okay.
and then it comes out at the end of this month. Yeah, no,
Oh,
Muppets is the nicest thing. I know I keep using that as a derogative thing, but I really like Muppets, so I shouldn't
it's
use Muppets as a derogative
yeah,
thing.
but it's you're. I mean, it's a British thing, right? And
Yeah.
it's
Chocolate teapots.
it is an insult, but it's not like too far where you have to like, you know what I
It's
mean?
the
Like,
PG version of what I want to really say.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Muppets is a great word for it. Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Tide looks pretty cool. That comes out
Dark Tide
soon.
looks
And
phenomenal, and man, if
I
they supported anything like they supported Vermintide over the last 4 or 5 years,
yeah.
it's going to be insane.
Yeah,
So
there'll be new characters they'll add in over the next year, and there'll be expansions and stuff. I'm
maybe,
sure
I
they've
mean, they
done
might
quite a
just
lot.
add more careers like they did in Vermintide,
No.
because they didn't really add any new characters.
Yeah, there was they added in you could buy the Warrior Priest and the Grail Knight
Yeah, no, those guys are
after the
all
initial
those aren't
fight.
new characters though. They're new like careers. So
Oh,
like
were they?
yeah, when
Oh,
you
okay.
start off with, I mean, you could just buy into them, and but
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's the same like voice actor and
yeah.
yeah, and like the weapons are almost all
Oh,
the
okay.
same. Yeah. But like I hope they do that kind of thing. I mean, I hope they
Yeah.
actually add another character because Vermintide has 5 characters, and
Mhm.
they're I think you're only starting it with 4 in um, Dark Tide. But regardless, it looks phenomenal. Maybe we could
Yeah.
play it on like we could stream it and play it.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
we're gonna do the Total War Warhammer first because
Yes.
I've not played that recently, so I should play that again.
Yeah, we should start up with that, and then we can
Mhm.
maybe do some Dark Tide when it comes out, and play with some of the Patreons or something. Like that would be fun. You know, I'd be down for that. I've only seen a little bit of gameplay for Dark Tide. Is the progression and stuff similar to Vermintide? Yeah, it looks like it's very similar. Only it's even better because you can just make your own character. So and I'm not like I don't have a lot of time for video games lately, but like I love Vermintide so much that I was paying some attention. But like so in Vermintide, for example, if you are the Way Watcher, you when you level up, you get to become like the Dark Elf Assassin, or no, first it goes Shield Maiden for High Elves, and then you get the Dark Elf Assassin career, and then you
Shade or something.
yeah, exactly. And then so for this one though, you can get to make your own character. So you can make it a guy or a girl, and you can make it like you can just make it whatever you want in terms of aesthetics and everything, which is really exciting because like, it's just you can make it your own, which is really fun. And then you can yeah, it's just not tied to anything, and it looks like it looks exactly like Vermintide, only just like everything's more graphics are better, like it's a newer game, so yeah, it's pretty exciting. But perhaps we should give just some fun final predictions. What's one more thing you think we'll see, Dale, at this preview, or in the next year? You pick whichever one you think.
I think there's gonna be something about a 40k Primarch.
I think they're gonna show Berserkers of Corn.
Hmm.
Um,
So Angron maybe.
well, Angron, they've already shown Angron, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh
But
yeah, they have. Definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Goblin Sky Pirates, that is a bold prediction,
Yeah.
Keith.
I
Very
wish.
bold. I think before they do Goblin Sky Pirates, they might do the Scryer the Skaven ones. But
I
we'll
would
see.
love them to do. I mean, it's not something that's realistically going to happen. I would love a new,
Alex
a
nailed it.
an massive so good.
Yeah,
I
Massive
want to
Solve is a good
see
predictor.
either a new death or because we've already had a new death one not long ago, but a new death or a new destruction faction. Because like if you look at Order had so many more in comparison to death and destruction and even chaos.
Yes. Well, I think
Um,
Destruction and Death both have 4, right?
mhm,
But FEC is like a partial faction too.
mhm.
So
Just no more Order stuff. Give us some bad guys.
Yeah. Okay,
Give us some new
so
bad guys.
Death has one, two, three,
OBR,
four, and Destruction one,
Nighthorn,
two, three, four. Yeah, they both.
Soulblight Grave Lords, and Feck.
Yeah, and
And
then
Chaos
Destruction
have
is,
the Four Gods and Skaven.
and they have
And
slaves, and they have Beasts of
yeah,
Chaos. Yeah. So
Gates. You got Gates,
ogres,
Orcs,
oryx,
Ogres, and
and
Sons.
giants. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they both
So,
have four. So yeah,
but something new. Like I want
something
something
that
like
doesn't worship Nagash for the
also
love of
like
Sigmar, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Something that's death that doesn't worship Nagash, or something that's destruction that isn't more orcs.
Yeah, I agree.
Like something new. Because
Uh,
both like Suns were pretty new. That's the last 2 years. OBR is like the last 3 years. So we have had new kind of things, but like yeah, I just kind of want a new group.
I what could how about I mean, so if
Oh
I'm
yes, bring Cetra back.
Cetra is
I know he's a Stormcast now, but
I mean Cetra, yes, Tomb Kings like actually coming back would be awesome. I would rather see Vampirates. Like that's my favorite thing, Vampire Coast, because so I said this before. I had a channel before I had Saga of Dice where I just made silly videos and predictions and that kind of thing. And anyway, I said like I predicted quite a few things actually. And one of them was that the vampires were going to get like a line revamp on skeletons, zombies, dire wolves, and all that stuff because we knew about the old world at the time, and so it's like okay, well they can just use them in both. It's like they make these models and then they get to
yeah,
sell them for two different game systems. It just makes sense. So Skaven, Seraphon, that works there as well, but Tomb Kings, if they bring them back, it would be double dipping for that as well. So I think that's a great idea, and everyone wants it. Like obviously everyone wants it, right? The question is if
Vampirates have
are they
been like
vampires
teased a
still
lot as well.
that would work as well though, right? Because didn't they have like some kind of in sixth edition didn't you have like the option of taking Vampire Coast as like
Mm.
a side thing like set or not Cetra like Sotek, Disciples of Sotek in the Lustria book for Lizardmen. Like I think there was something like that.
Mhm.
Yes, Alex, I agree. Everyone needs to get around the idea. GW needs to figure out how to make a mega boss on Gorgrunta. Like it's just the most obvious thing ever. But they're like, no, you've already got a mega boss on foot that's like an immaculate sculpt. We're just gonna give you two more of them, and that's good, right? Like you don't.
Yeah,
What do you need a Gorgrunta for? It's just like, come on, man. Like we don't need three different sculpts of a mega boss on foot. Uh, yes, Cetra doesn't bow. He is bowed to. That's true. I mean, he would make such a great what's the word like foil to Nagash that that would be great. And then for destruction, we need the silent ones,
mm,
right? Basically AoS Tyranids, like just bugs. That would be awesome, like ant people or something to do like with ants. I'm down for that. I love that the end times fluff, the Chaos God saying, "Hey Cetra, we offer you everything if you serve us." Cetra replying, "Nah, I'm good. Also, I'm going to come kill you for that insult." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cetra is like one of the most popular characters
yeah.
ever. So
It's like you're begging me to come and help you. That means I can beat you. You
yeah,
need me.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna come and help you now. Yeah,
I do think that the Ossiarch Bone Reapers were supposed to like appeal to the Tomb King loving people because Catacross is sort of like a similar kind of character, but he's lame because he just bows down to Nagash, right? Like I think we all agree on that. So yeah, that would be great. I would love that. I mean, I would also like it if they got kind of a little bit more weird. Like Night Haunt is like so much more outside the box. You know what I mean? The silent, oh no, the silent ones would be destruction. But I'm sure there's other things that they could do. Um, yeah, I'm predicting a roadmap this weekend, this Friday.
I hope so. It'll be nice. It'll be
I'm
nice to give something to look forward to and think about.
yeah, and I'm I'm hoping and predicting for the new year, um, some new Seraphon sculpts, a Gits book for sure in the early new year, and I'm actually going to predict that they come out with the Ossiarch Bone Reapers pretty early as well. If not with Gits, then with something a little in the near future. Hermie wants a fifth death army, but my wallet would kill me. Yeah.
Just sell a kidney, you'll be fine. Offer it up to death.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to follow your heart, right? I'm just kidding. No, don't do what is don't be irresponsible, but like it's funny because like yeah, when they eventually in like 2029 or whenever they actually make new Skaven sculpts, I'm just like, well, this is happening, I guess, because yeah, I won't have any choice. Sell someone else's kidney. Now you're thinking outside the box, Alex. Wait, why am I promoting this kind of nonsense? That was a joke, everyone. Don't ban me, YouTube. Don't shadow ban me either, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I think we're good then. So we will try and do a show on Friday then.
Yes.
We'll try and do a live thing again.
So it says 9 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, we'll double confirm it.
Yeah. So should be
And then we'll
8
come on like
p.m.
10 minutes
So
beforehand.
it should
and
be
have
an
a chat.
hour later than the time our show normally starts, which is 7 p.m. PST. We think. If it would be 7 p.m., that'd be even cooler, obviously, but I don't think so. I
Let me
think
just
Mountain.
check.
I can't remember.
It's 1 hour. Mountain Standard
Is it?
Time
Okay,
is 1
okay.
hour ahead.
Because there's Mountain Time and then there's
Yeah.
Central, and I thought Central was 2 hours, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, thanks for everyone for hanging out. This was just kind of like a little more impromptu, fun kind of episode. There should be an exclusive battle report going live tomorrow. Silliness versus Sylvaneth on Patreon. And then I've got the new Slaves to Darkness versus Seraphon. I brought the Dread Saurian. I'm hoping that'll go live on Thursday, but I've got one of the busiest weeks ever this week, so I can't promise anything, but I've already started it well in there. Well, thanks for hanging out anyway, Keith. Like, and it'll go, like, you can always watch it later and just paint along and do that kind of thing. Yeah, it'll just be something fun. It's just us, like, we might have a drink or something like that and just kind of react to it and hopefully not say anything too crazy.
Yep.
I get a little loose with the lips when I have a drink. So, yeah. Yes, next week, next Tuesday should be Ogres, the review with Alex Butler, who is a very, very strong player. He beat me before when Ogres were trash, and now he's probably going to just absolutely raffle stomp me. Yeah, so it should be good. And then there's and then we're filming a battle report with Ogres, so that should come out relatively soon, as soon as I can get it out. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching. Is there anything you wanted to add before we go, Dale?
Nope, I'm all good. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.
You missed your chance to say Justice Forgets. I will not forgive you.
We don't need to because we're going to get a new Gits.
We're going to get a new Gits. That's the prediction.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
Fair enough.
That'll be on Friday's show when we don't get it and then just like flip the table and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. And thanks to everyone who came and hang out. We really appreciate it. It's more fun this way. And sorry if I didn't see all the comments, but yeah. Appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.